Hey, I'm gonna let you in a little secret. Did you know that there's people out there right now that are generating leads for your business and your company, and they have no knowledge of what your industry is, how it even operates, or any knowledge of the industry itself? I'm going to show you how they're generating these leads and how they eventually are going to try to sell them over to you using a model called rank and rent. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about here. What's up there, guys? Is here once again with Do It Yourself SEO, where I help full service business owners and contractors to build out their own websites, do their own SEO, and help them do all this stuff so it can save them thousands of dollars and having to pay somebody else to do this. Now, in this video, I want to talk about the industry of lead generating. Like I've mentioned before in other videos, the concept of lead generation is probably the one of a massive industry, a massive business on itself. And that's why there's places like Home Advisor, Thumbtack, Angie's List, Networks, a bunch of companies out there that are offering these types of services where they generate leads for contractors and then sell them off because contractors have a difficult time generating their own leads, which just naturally has led to gurus and business owners trying to sell this model to the average individual, the average person, and showing them how they too can generate leads for a contractor or a business owner, a dentist office or a lawyer or anything like that, because they know business owners have a hard time generating their own leads. So the whole concept behind what these guys teach is something called the rank and rent model. It's also taught, it's mentioned and named a bunch of different ways just to make it sound cool and stuff like that. I've heard it called digital properties, digital real estate, rank and rent, lead generating websites, all that sort of stuff. And what the whole concept behind it is, what they'll do is they'll teach these individuals how to build out their own websites that generate leads for business owners, and then they can end up renting out these websites to the business owners, which will make them money, residual money on a monthly basis. It seems like a really smart idea. For example, like if you lived in a town for like 50,000 people, and you decided you understand that there's a market for people that are looking for a concrete contractor. You go online, you take a look, and you realize that nobody's created a really good website, Google business profile, or anything for concrete contractor in this particular town. So you go out there, you are taught to go out there, purchase the domain name, built up the website, try to get a Google business profile if you possibly can, built out this whole thing like as if you are the business owner, if you owned this concrete contractor business, built this whole website out, and eventually have it rank on the search engine on Google, and you start generating leads. Usually what they'll do is they'll implement some kind of forwarding number, a tracking number on the website, and then you start calling local concrete contractors in your town who might want those leads. And then once that person, that contractor starts getting some of those leads and they like it and they're like, wow, these are great leads, then you can rent them out that website for 500, 700, $800,000 a month, whatever you guys agree on. That's the whole process, the whole concept behind a lead generating website, rank and rent, digital properties, digital real estate, whatever you want to call it. And this is what these gurus teach. And this is basically where I made my start. I made my start probably 2017, I'm thinking. I can't even remember. Late 2017, I believe that was the year. I actually ran into an ad on Facebook where somebody was selling this concept. For those of you guys who don't know, or the ones that do follow me, I was driving a truck at the time, and I made decent money, but I needed a way to make more money, for my family and for my life, and so I could save money and things like that. So I was looking for a way to generate some like side hustle. So I ran into this concept of the rank and rent model. I was introduced to it. I remember going on the sales page where they talked about the whole concept, and it absolutely blew my mind. I just could not believe that nobody had ever thought of this, and I understood because I was in various different industries. I dealt with concrete contractors, fencing contractors, landscaping contractors. And none of them have ever even thought about building their own website, maximizing their Google business profile, doing all that stuff to start generating leads using Google. At the time, there was still Yellow Pages and all that stuff. See, it was 2017. That's quite a long time ago now. So it absolutely blew my mind. Plus, there was none of this information was on YouTube, online, or anything like that. So this guru that I signed showed me all this stuff. I was just floored. And of course, he was going to teach me how to do this. I had to sign up for this course and all that stuff. And at that price, I can't remember the price point. Back then, it must have been like $4,000. to sign up for this course, which was freaking mind blowing money for me. I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to pay for that? But it was so, I mean, the way I saw the business, it just made so much damn sense that I'm like, this is something contractors and business owners. My first thought was contractors. There's a lot of people that use this for like dentists and lawyers and like medical spas, whatever stuff. Like I don't know any of those people. I can't relate with any of that, industries. I relate to contractors because that's kind of my background. Driving a truck, dealt with a lot of them. So it's the first thing I thought of was like contractors. This would work great for contractors. So I ended up signing up and I learned all of this stuff about the rank and rent and all this stuff. And I mean, it was a butt kicking, man. It was a struggle for me to learn all this stuff. Like I said, I'm a little bit on the older side, so this tech stuff is a little bit slow for me. I'm very very stubborn though, and I keep going and I keep going. But and over the years, I see it now that it's like it's a great concept. But over the years, I realized that you're building out phony lead generating websites. You're building out phony business profiles. You're building out phony things, and they don't have any, how do you say, any heart to them. And so as the years went by, even though I did build some of these myself, I did eventually rank out a few of them here and there. I made a couple $100 here and there. Um, it was still, I felt, even though Google's like some multi-billion-dollar corporation, who gives a crap, right? And, you're manipulating their system and everything. There's still something about it didn't feel right. And one of the things that now I still see it out there. I mean, I still see gurus out there trying to sell this concept. And in my honest opinion, I think there is probably millions and millions and millions of dollars to be made in actually teaching this stuff, but not implementing the system themselves. I sometimes think to myself, to the people that are still teaching this rank and rent model, you can make tons of money. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's a handful of people that are making tons and tons and tons of money. But do I really think about it? Is this guru actually making tons and tons of money by building a website for a pool cleaner guy in some town and renting it out for $200 or $300 every single month? Hell no. Hell no. They're making their money on teaching that principle over and over and over again. And there's groups out there online. I've seen them with thousands of people in these groups. And to be in these groups, you have to sign up for these courses. And some of these courses I've seen cost $7, $8, $9,000. You get 1,000 people to sign up at 7,000. That's $700,000. That's where they're making the money to me. So it's a bunch of bullshit out there. So the reason I'm making this video is because I still have mad respects for learning this stuff back in the day when I first started to learn it and implementing it. And it led me to the path where I'm at right now, where I'm, learning even more and more about this SEO, website design, all this other stuff. It led me towards that path. So I'm still grateful for that. The problem that I'm seeing is that when you're building out these lead generating websites, these rank and rent websites, all of this stuff, it's still good. I mean, if you can get away with doing that and renting out to a contractor, the problem that I'm seeing is eventually the contractors themselves are not going to want those lead generators. They're going to want their own digital properties. They're going to want their own online presence. They're going to want their own brand online. And a lot of these rank and rent websites are not, they're just generic websites out there. And another thing too is that with Google, as I've worked with it for over the years now, the way I look at it now, what Google's trying to do, the search engine, what it's trying to do is trying to filter out more human activity, more human interaction, more trust, and things like that. I heard once Mr. Beast say something like, watch a little bit of his YouTube just to see how he does things. I heard one of his quotes was that when he makes a video, so like when he teaches people to make videos on for YouTube, he says, stop trying to make videos for the algorithm, make videos for people. And a lot of these lead generating websites, these rank and rents, these digital properties, these websites are strictly designed for Google. They're strictly designed for the Google's algorithm. And as the years go by, I'm starting to see that Google wants you to build websites for human beings. So if you are a concrete contractor and you have a tremendous amount of great work, you have a great portfolio, you have team, you have trucks, you have everything. If you build a website that represents your business very well, talks about your industry well, you get a shit ton of great reviews on Google and all that is absolutely going to blow the doors off some rank and rent website with phony business listing, phony reviews, all that stuff. And another thing too, us human beings, when we visit some of these websites, um, we're going to start to sniff them out. We're going to sniff out these phony baloney lead generating websites, and we're going to see the difference between a real contractor, a real business owner, and a phony baloney rank and rent type website. And here's another reason why I really don't like this rank and rent model of website, the digital asset, and any other stuff, right? These gurus and all these guys on YouTube and all these guys training this stuff, they constantly hitting you over the head of how simple it is, how quickly you can do this, how cost effective it is for you to, build out a website and structure and do all that stuff. They make it sound like it's so easy. And in actuality, it kind of is. So if that's the fact, if this is so damn easy, if anybody can go out there and build a rank and rent website, what is to stop the actual contractor from doing it themselves? What is to stop the actual contractor from having their wife do it on the side? What's to stop the contractor having their teenage kid go out there, implement some of these tactics, and build out the website for them? If it's that easy, you know, wouldn't anybody do it? And so that's one of the things that kind of started to take me back from all this stuff. Another thing that really, really bothered me was when I was one of these groups, they basically showed you how to build these rank and rent websites and all this stuff. Then they offered us a service on they'll do it for you. They'll build out these rank and rent websites for you and do all of the work for you. And they'll charge you $500-600 a piece, whatever it might have been. And I said, wow, that's really nice of them. But then I thought to myself, wait a minute. If these rank and rent websites are so great, they are so lucrative, they're so all this, like, why would you waste your time selling that to me? Wouldn't you, as the guru, the business owner, build out all these leads? If you're paying 700 bucks to get one of these done, why don't you just build them for yourself? Build out legions and legions and legions of rank and rent websites for your own business and hoard the whole industry. No, you're selling it to us, the students, and all that stuff. And that's where I'm like, you know what? This is where they're making their money. They're not making their money with ranking and renting websites. They're making money on selling the concept to some schmuck or some guys really, looking to generate some income and build a business doing this on the side. So that's another one of the reasons that I've kind of just drifted away from the rank and rent. And I just don't see it as a liable, just a really decent, a good business to run. To some extent, if you can get away with it, I guess, if you could figure out a way to make it really, really well, maybe brand the websites for the particular business owner. But that's what I'm just seeing, the flaws in it, all of it. And eventually, like I said, if it's so damn easy, what's to stop the contractor from doing it themselves? And this is one of the reasons why I created this YouTube channel, because over the years, as I learned all this rank and rent and SEO and all this stuff, I've become starting to realize that it's not as difficult as it's let out to be. If you really focus and just focus on the basics, if you're real business owners and you implement all the stuff that you get taught with this rank and rent stuff, you're going to absolutely crush it, because you're the business owner. You got interest in actually ranking, you got interest in your business, you actually care about your website and all that stuff. So those websites will outrank these rank and rent websites. It might not be happening right now, but sooner or later, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the road, when more and more contractors become more and more aware of this digital space, owning their digital property, owning their Facebook, their Instagram, their websites, their Google business profile. I can see it. I've been in it for 7 years now, and I can see how people are becoming more and more educated on this whole thing. Some guys didn't even know how to get a domain name back in the day. Now I know guys. Now I work with guys that have their own website set up, their own hosting, and all that stuff, and I just go in there and help them fix things up. As compared to people still on the yellow pages just 6-7 years ago. So this is why I just wanted to make this video, just to show you guys that, just be aware that there's people out there still that might want to build out rank and rent websites out in your area and eventually try to sell some of those leads over to you. I just want to let you know, you don't have to work with any of those people. You could just build out your own, do your own website, and do all this stuff and get your stuff, get your own legit reviews and all that stuff going on your own for your own business. So also I wanted to share with you guys on this video. If you guys want to know more about some of this SEO stuff that I basically teach, you can check out this video right here. And that's all I got for you guys today. Until next time.